This episode of the ChatGTM podcast is brought to you by Budget Branders, your source for custom branded cups and bags. So what makes them unique? Well, they source using a hybrid supply model, they import to keep prices low, and they have domestic backup to fill in the gaps. Learn more at budgetbranders.com or connect with Budget Branders on LinkedIn. And now it's time for the show. Hey, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, or wherever you might be right now. It's Michael Beck in the ChatGTM podcast coming to you live here from Tampa, Florida. And joined with me, as almost always, Mr. Chad Horn out there in Bostonia, or Boston. So I don't know why I said Bostonia, but it's out in Boston. How you doing, Chad?
Doing pretty good. Yeah. Boston, it's a great place. Everybody came to my town last week, including our guest today. So.
Oh, yeah? Who is our guest?
Our guest is Carmela over at Rita's Italian Iced, the brand everybody knows and loves.
I am excited about this. I do love me some treats. I know you do too. And this sounds like a really big treat. And I had no idea how big they were. I thought like a couple locations that just started expanding. It's amazing having been in an industry, Chad, I'm sure you had this too. 15 years, we're still discovering things like there's a 100-unit chain of what? There's a 500-unit chain of what?
All the time. All the time.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. Well, let's get going. I'm going to do our read in here for our wonderful guest, and then we'll jump into the podcast and dig into why Rita's is such an amazing brand and why people should be working with it. So today's guest is Carmela Hughley. She's the SVP of Marketing Insights and Innovation at Rita's Italian Ice, one of the most recognizable brands in frozen treats with a nationwide footprint. And she brings an operator mindset to marketing with a focus on what actually drives revenue and keeps customers coming back. With a background in operations and leadership, Carmela has a track record of building high-performance teams, scaling systems, and turning insights into execution that fuels consistent growth. Today, she is helping Rita's evolve through smarter use of data and innovation in a highly competitive market. Carmela, welcome to the show.
Hi, good morning, Michael. Good morning, Chad.
Morning, Carmela.
Good morning. So I am excited, and I got to ask you just off the cuff without digging in too deep. What's your favorite treat at Rita's?
Oh gosh, I don't know if there's one, but if I had to walk
it's
in
like
any
asking your
shop
favorite
today,
song, right? It's got to be on your mood. Yeah.
It's very hard. Do I want ice? Do I want gelati? Do I want a blender? Like, what is it that I want today? So it really depends on what I gravitate towards.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty nostalgic, and one of our, really nostalgic flavors, and it's lemon. Lemon gelati is probably my go-to. I know our number one flavor is mango across the board, but for me, I gravitate towards lemon. Those bits of lemon in there, and it's cool, refreshing, citrus. It's got a layer of custard in there. It's amazing.
You can tell she's in marketing. I really want to go get one right now.
And you should. And you should.
So go ahead, Chad.
Well, my quick burning question similar is like, why is Rita so etched in my brain, right? Because I don't think growing up I went to a location too often. And yet the iconic red, white stripes, the taste, I think it's like there. I encountered it many times. I just don't exactly remember where.
I don't know. It made that imprint on your brain, though, Chad. So, it's forever there. And anytime you see those red and white stripes and that Rita's logo with the behind the green banner there, you got to stop. You got to stop.
It's kind of iconic. Well, so for those that don't know Rita's, and clearly there's a website for this, but just give a little snapshot of what you guys are known for. I know that you mentioned just a couple of those wonderful treats before, but let's give a little snapshot.
Yeah. So if you think about Rita's, we are over 605 locations across the country, and with, over 10 shops across the pond, if you will, in the Philippines. What we're known for are two base products: one, Italian ice, and secondly, our custard.
Ooh.
Every menu item that we have is comprised of those two products. And when I tell you that our product is superior, it is superior. It's made fresh daily. We have fresh fruit additives. We're continuing to evolve and innovate with amazing flavor profiles that we launch every single year. We have a couple more that we'll be launching throughout the remainder of the year. But you can find us primarily in the Northeast, and we're expanding across the rest of the country now as we speak.
So there's new franchise opportunities now. What areas are you guys looking to open markets?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we are building a bunch of stores in Texas, Florida, North Carolina, Ohio, believe it or not. I mean, it gets a little bit frigid there, but they
Yeah.
still love their ice cream and their custard and their ice up there, which our shops do phenomenal up there. We do have some, I'll call it the smile line of the
Hmm.
United States. Again, if you think about where we are penetrated in the Northeast, you make that smile along the US and kind of go up. And we also have shops in California, Utah, Arizona, Colorado. We're penetrating the US for sure. We're continuing to grow year over year.
And it sounds like from what the reports were when we were coming out of NRA that beverage brands and snack brands are such a wonderfully high margin business that it's just a great opportunity. Is there a lot of truth to that?
It is an amazing opportunity. The unique opportunity about Rita's, which is different from a traditional QSR, is we don't have the other elements. We don't have cooktops. We don't have fryers, no grease traps. We have ice, custard, and happiness. We serve that all day long to the people who walk inside of our shops, drive up through our drive-throughs, and walk up front to the window. So, that's the amazing piece about our unique business.
I literally can't stop smiling. It's funny also what's that phrase, Chad? If you want to be happy, if you want to make people happy, sell ice cream.
Oh
All
yeah.
right. It's some version of that. It's almost like that's part of your coda over there, Carmela. I think that's really neat.
I mean,
Um,
who doesn't love it?
yeah, who doesn't? So let's kind of jump in a little bit. We met last week at the restaurant marketing workshop. And there's a lot of good content that was shared there, and then you and I got to sit together almost the whole day on one of the days, and I got to know a little bit about you, and I got to know a little bit about the brand, and what really struck me is people can go out there and make money, and that's a given, but when you are able to make money and invest in the community around you, I think there's something magical that happens. It's not just I'm making money, but I'm also making an impact with the money I'm making and building awareness. There's things they care about. And that's kind of what sparked the idea that we have you on this week, because you guys are doing some really cool stuff. So, tell us a little bit about the thing that's coming up next week, and then we can dip in a little bit more about the brand. But I want to really just head on. What is this thing coming up?
Yeah, so we have an amazing relationship with the Eagles, and specifically the Eagles Autism Foundation. And, they are, near and dear to our hearts here at the base of Philadelphia. We participated with them at the Eagles Autism Challenge. We were there with our treat truck serving treats to everyone who participated in the Eagles Autism Challenge. But we also support them through the Rita's Golf Classic. This is our third annual Rita's Golf Classic. And at this golf classic, we will have a full tee sheet. It's hosted at the Cobblestone Creek Country Club
Ooh.
in Lawrenceville, New Jersey. We'll have, many of our vendor participants, people who have registered from the local public, and also we will have some players that are current players on the roster today for the Philadelphia Eagles. We have a player who's coming from Green Bay. We have former players that also played in Philadelphia and for Denver as well. So, like I said, we have a full tee sheet. This is, near and dear to our hearts. My team is currently working on making sure that, everything goes off without a hitch. We've also partnered with a company to help support our foundation as well, and that is an Allied Underwriters partner as well. And so they're helping fund all the swag, all the gift bags for every single participant that is going to be at the golf event on Monday. And we're really excited about the initiative and the contributions we're able to give back to the Eagles Autism Foundation as well.
That's so neat. How much have you guys raised in that 3 years?
In the 3 years, we've raised over $300,000 just on this specific event in itself, and we hope to contribute more to the EAF as well.
Wow. Rita's does give back. That's awesome. Chad?
We do, we do.
Carmela, I'm curious. How do you keep, because you've been doing this for decades. So how do you
Yeah.
keep these charitable campaigns feeling fresh, urgent, engaging for a new generation, and all of the challenges of persisting over time?
It's really at the heart of the community. That is the core of who we are. We were a mom and pop, business, as our brand evolved over 42 years ago. And that is at the center of who we are as our community. And, everything that we think about doing, whether it be through the brand itself or our local franchisees, it's always about supporting people in need. Our other large company that we work with is Alex's Lemonade Stand. And,
Right.
that is something that is going on right now. And every shop across our brand is selling paper lemons to be able to give back to Alex's Lemonade Stand. We've been working with Alex's Lemonade Stand for over 20 years, and
Wow.
we've given back over $1 million in donations to Alex's Lemonade Stand.
Wow. I'm gonna be a jerk and correct you here on this part. Your website says 5 million.
Well, yes, we've done over
I
5 million. I'm thinking about the last couple years since
uh,
I've been in position. So
okay.
thank you,
I'm
Michael,
sorry.
for
That
correcting me.
number was one I didn't want to let slip. That is a good number. So yeah.
It is, yes.
Okay, so let's tie this back to how this plays into brands, right? Because there's a lot of businesses out there, and some choose to do these altruistic acts, and some say, "Listen, I got my own lane to stay in." And so, the first question is, Rita's has a strong community and philanthropic presence. So, how do you make sure those efforts actually connect to the brand, not just sit as side initiatives?
Yep. So, it's part of what we educate and help preach and really instill in our franchisees. Again, being at the heart of the community, right? That is where it's at. There's nothing better than being, supportive of your local community. They're going to support you back. There's lots of things, and I'm sure you hear these from other businesses that you work with.
Mm-hmm.
We get 2 million and 2 emails a day, and we have to really decide who do we want to play with? Who do we
Yeah.
want to partner with? And, these things are important to us as an organization and a brand. And we believe wholeheartedly in these programs and the initiatives. And we've truly seen the impact of these. And that, is why we make the choice to participate in these sort of activities.
Mm. Chad?
So something, that strikes me about the paper lemons example that you gave is that it's physical. It's a physical
Mhm.
thing, right? In the stores that people can see and engage with. And yet we're in a increasingly digital
Oh.
world. So I'm curious how you think about blending the two to accomplish these charitable objectives.
Yeah, that is something that we're continuing to work as we continue to evolve and innovate. What's the digital strategy? And, the word digital is very broad in in the world of marketing. And so, things move faster than an airplane up in the air. So we've got to continuously evolve and think about how do we have that digital presence and how do we bring in our charitable contributions into that fold? Is it a QR code? Is it a direct link? Um, you know, is it a landing page on our website that will directly link, the consumer, our customers back to, the places that we want them to go to be part of the give back?
Mm.
Absolutely. So, you know, I'll say this is so cliche. It's on our roadmap, but it truly is on our roadmap, right? It's part of our roadmap on how we continue to, build these into the fold and everything that we do. And, they're at the forefront of our business, and we continuously work through our franchisees. They're the ones that are doing all the work out there with 605 shops deep, and sharing that message and how important being altruistic is within our brand.
Chad, why do I think there's an NFT in your brain right now?
I don't know. I've blocked that period of my life out of my brain.
So Carmela, back to the, anchoring this back to the marketing workshop and some of the things that the presenters talked about. What have you learned about the customer loyalty side of things, and from the community work that Rita's does? Are you seeing a correlation between this work that you're doing and how people love and embrace the brand?
It's interesting. I travel probably 80% of my time,
Wow.
and I am always representing the brand, whether it be a logo on my shirt,
Yeah.
the bag that I carry, and the amount of love for the brand. The amount of love that I got at our conference last week about
Mhm.
I love Rita's. Oh my gosh, I grew up here and I went to Rita's every Wednesday night or every weekend. I am just blown away with the amount of love that there is across this country for this brand. And it really is something that I constantly speak about to my team, to our entire team here. It is one that it blows me away and it fascinates me. So if you think about that nostalgic piece and you think about this 42-year-old brand, and you know, we have our millennial moms now. We have our
Yeah.
millennial moms. We have our millennial dads those were the ones who visited Rita's with their parents or their grandparents. And those baby boomers are still around today. So we're capturing the hearts of the entire generation span from alphas to boomers and everyone in between. And we constantly are evolving our flavor profiles to make sure that we're capturing not only that nostalgia aspect from the Sundays that our baby boomers love
Mm-hmm.
to the delicious sour products that we just launched
Sour
this past
products.
LTO. Yeah. And so that captures, that Gen Alpha generation, and then we have everything else in between. So,
Mm.
the love for the brand, working with our R&D department to think about making sure that we're thinking about every single one of those generations and making sure that we have something to offer them.
So
Awesome.
Carmela, so you've shared you get a lot of anecdotes and feedback from people who love the brand. As a marketer, though, do you have a way of either quantifying that
Mm.
of
You stole my
the
question. I'm just kidding.
the amount of fandom or the intensity of fandom that you can reduce to a number?
Well, we have our app, right? We have our app. So we look at the number of followers that we have. We have an email program. We look at traffic patterns on our website. We measure the engagement on all of our social channels, whether it be Instagram and Facebook. And we know that there's a differentiation between those, consumers who do frequently go onto Facebook versus the consumer that is on Instagram. There's an age difference there, which is fantastic. So we get a good read on both and what we're looking for, especially through socials, where and when are they engaging? And that's going to tell us where we need to dial up or push the lever or maybe pull it back a little bit more. And so, those are our measuring points that we look at outside of our traditional just ringing the register.
Has there been a moment where a community or cause-driven campaign like this has outperformed your expectations from a business standpoint? Do you see a lift in these areas when you're doing this stuff, or is it kind of
Um,
homogenized because it's so frequent?
Yeah, I think because it's so frequent, we typically anticipate what it looks like year over year, but
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing like, a healthy challenge inside of our franchisees teams. We recognize our top 5 franchisees every single year with contributions to Alex's Lemonade Stand. And we bring them up on stage at our annual convention and recognize them. And it's a big deal. And they like to be recognized. It's important, for them is having that fabric in the community and being able to be recognized by Alex's as well. So, that's cool.
Wow. Chad?
So, Carmela, imagine you're talking to another brand, and you may have had these conversations last week, and they know it'd feel good to bring generosity into the community and do these sort of campaigns, but they're just not sure they have the resources, bandwidth, etc. Sell that person on generosity as a growth driver. It's like, okay, all the other benefits aside, this is going to be good for business.
It is going to be good for business. I mean, when you think about, the give back and, that you never know what someone's going through. You never know what someone's been through in their life. And there should, could have been someone that comes to our business or someone else's business that we've helped support through these means. And we might not know those stories all the time, but a lot of times those stories get shared with us, whether it be through social media or, someone drops an email or sends some mail in. It's a win back factor. It's not necessarily about getting profit off of this. It's about sharing news, and it's about sharing new news. It's about sharing good news, especially in the climate and the world that we live in today. We need some good news. We need to
Amen to
let
that.
we need to let the world know, we're here to support them in through these means, and here's how we can be able to do that. And there's never been a time where I've had somebody push back on supporting a great cause, especially the two that we really support in this moment. We've never had that. Some people might not be able to give, but that's okay. There's other ways to give back. Saying thank you, saying I love you, saying, is there something else that I can do? There might be someone that's in line behind them that says, you know what, I want to pay it forward and let me
Mm.
pay for a paper lemon for this person. There are kind people in this world, believe it or not. And, it's not so much about selling it in, but it's about doing what's right. It's about be good human beings and being kind to people and being able to support them, even if it's $1.
God bless you for that. I love that. Like for real. Carmela, when I'm thinking from a marketing perspective and this, what role does storytelling play when you're talking about things like childhood cancer or autism initiatives? Like, how's that all come together?
Well, I mean, storytelling is a big part of marketing, right? I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it grow, especially from the digital side. And, I'll say back in the day, but it wasn't that long ago,
Last
where
week, no,
when we
just
had MySpace, we had MySpace and we were trying to tell stories through MySpace. And
yeah,
then Facebook came along and we were doing posts, and all of a sudden now we have reels and stories and shorts and all these things to
yeah.
tell the story. That's what people gravitate to. That's visually what's captivating the minds, hearts, and souls of people, even if it's a short 15-second story.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's gonna, that's what's gonna bring them in. That's what's gonna catch them. That's what's gonna bring them in. They're gonna stay captivated for a little bit longer, and we have more opportunities for them to see it more nowadays
Mm.
versus what we did even 5 or 10 years ago. If they see it more than once, the chances are, or the likelihood of them visiting or contributing or having some impact for them personally is greater than what it was prior.
Mm. Thank you.
I ask you about creativity. We heard a little bit of it last week, talking about, various ways of getting earned media and PR. But,
Yeah.
we're also seeing more conversation around it just because of how crowded and noisy everyone's different channels are. So you have to be creative to stand out. And then there's on the tech side, you've got new capabilities of be able to do things quick to enable creativity in new ways on a digital front. So I'm curious how you think about that, right? Creativity in marketing, creativity to express the brand.
Yeah, I think, one of the things that I do already, but was just kind of reinforced last week is, um, you know, what is everyone else doing? Right? And how do you be different than everyone else,
Uh-huh.
looking at the amount of posts that people or companies are putting out there, looking at some of the engagement and really working with, we work with agencies. There's a lot we can handle in-house, but, we do work with some agencies to be able to do that, and really having this strong partnership and collaboration with your agency to
Mm.
funnel through, ideas and ideation and what has been done before. And, for us, we're always looking at, other brands and what are other brands doing and what are some cool things and how do we get ahead of things. And even though it might not be uh, picking up the pace or picking up the trend right now, we know, again, trends change as fast as an airplane moves up in the sky. So, trying to be ahead of things as much as possible. Will we win all the time? No. Would we like to? Absolutely. But we
Right.
also have to be realistic, and we also have to do a lot of A/B testing, sometimes A, B, C, D, E, F, G testing, and really look at those measurements to say, okay, did this work? Did it not work? What things worked well, how can we make it better, and what things should we never ever do again. And
Mm.
it's okay, because everything's learning right now. There's no magic button. There's nothing out there that says, well, if you do this, XYZ will happen.
Yeah. Well, let's take that back to the marketing workshop we just went to. What was one of the ideas that really landed for you, saying this is something I'm going to take home, this is something I'm going to work on, develop, and implement at Rita's?
Yeah, I thought there was some really good recommendation on some tools and resources to use to look at the effectiveness of our websites and sites that we have out there and how they're performing, and looking at schema and really looking at
Oh
things
yeah.
on the backside a different way, just to make sure that we have them set up how they should be set up in this moment. Doesn't mean that it won't change down the line,
Yeah.
but I thought, using those tools and really looking at the effectiveness of those types of things to help measure where we're at in the business. I thought that was really beneficial for me to look at. It's going to be a little difficult with over 605 locations, but we do
Yeah.
have our main website, and that's where we'll start. And then we will trickle it down to the rest of our local pages as well.
So each location has its own microsite or some version of
hmm
that?
Yep, it has a local page with built in within our website. Yes.
And is that being driven by your? Well, I mean, brand standards would probably say that you're the ones that are issuing that content to them, and then they're displaying that. Is that right?
Yeah, we drive it. We drive that
Okay.
holistically, but
Yeah.
we know there's work that needs to be done with, search engine optimization, if that's what we want to call it anymore.
Yeah.
But, with the utilization of AI out in the space that we live in, we need to make sure that we have everything buttoned up because it's crawling the World Wide Web
Yeah.
in places that we didn't even know it was going to crawl. And so we need to be prepared for that and be on top of that as much as we can.
Love it.
So also back to the conference or the event, whatever, the workshop last week. I'm sure already you work very closely with operations,
Oh,
but
hand in hand.
after last week, what, based on what you learned, what other team inside Rita's do you need to work more closely with based on what you were inspired to do last week?
Gosh, I don't know if I could get any more closer with them. But if we're all gonna, be roommates pretty soon. Um, Operations is hand in hand, working with our IT department, again, hand in hand, because again, the stuff that I just talked about with, our sites and making sure schema's where it needs to be and making sure we're protected with AI and being able to use all those tools, we all kind of work hand in hand. We all have to hold hands and walk down this trench together.
Mm, probably why you're so successful as a brand that you do that.
Oh,
Not
well, thank
everybody
you.
does that.
Thank you.
Did
Thank you.
did any of that from the show challenge how you think about things? Like sometimes we come in there and we go, I've got this down. You're not going to change my mind, but I might get something. But is there anything that really challenged how you look at the world?
Well, I don't know if it challenged me, but Michael, it also made me validate decisions or thoughts or, hey, I'm not in this alone. I don't have this challenge solo. I'm not the only
Yes.
one in this space that is going through, this challenge. And then finding a true partner to really hear what they're going through. And some of the ways that they have overcome some obstacles. It's just really this networking group, and it feels like a safe networking group. It's not like you're my competitor and I'm not going to tell you, blah, blah, blah. It's a safe networking group. We felt very open to share if we were here to support each other and get through those things. And again, I think from myself validating some of the things that we're doing, or again, that I'm not alone sort of things, some of them were in the same position too.
There's something to be said about having a tribe, right?
Yeah,
Share
for
best
sure.
practices. You pick up the phone and say, "Hey, have you heard anything about this?" It's so smart. It's so smart.
Yeah, for
Chad?
sure.
So another thing we didn't really talk about specifically, but I want to hear your thoughts. Innovation, right? So marketing innovation. What does that word mean to you in terms of how you approach your role?
So again, broad. Right? Because again, we're talking about that airplane flying up in the air with marketing. Marketing has changed. It's no longer the systematic funnel that we learned in college so many years ago. The landscape of marketing has changed, and we need to figure out how to segment, how to market towards the segments, whether it
Mm,
be through, social, digital, through old school traditional means. Like, how is it we need to make sure that we're covering all of our bases, especially within our brand that is so nostalgic, over 42 years old. And again, I'm going to go back to that alpha generation all the way to baby boomer, right? We've got to make sure we're hitting all marketing channels to make sure we're driving that customer in. So
Yeah.
that's the marketing side of innovation, but I also work with R&D on the product side of innovation.
Mm.
So we're constantly looking at consumer insights, trends within the marketplace. We work with all of our vendor partners to have them help support what trends are out there, what are they seeing, what can they help us bring to the table that is new, is innovative, creative. Maybe it's something we dig out of our toolbox. We have over 80 flavors of ice in our rotation.
Wow.
So how do we
Wow.
reinvent those things? Do we need 90? Probably not, unless there's some weird, wacky fruit that we haven't uncovered yet that's coming from Mars. I don't know, but we have those flavors at our fingertips. They're all amazing. So how do we bring those out of the fold? How do we reintroduce them? How do we bring back a fan favorite? How do we do things that drive immediate want now to the shop, whether it be a very short-term LTO, it's something we put out on social to say, get it now or get it never. We've got to think about all those creative and innovative things all at the same time that the landscape currently changes. So
Mm.
it's not easy, Chad. It's not easy.
Well, on that, real quick, just what did you think of the personalized
Ooh.
offers messaging, the one-to-one kind of things we heard from the stage, using
I
AI to tailor all of that?
I love that because I'm a lemon girl. You heard me talk about this earlier when we first started, right? But lemon isn't a required flavor to be made every day. So
Right.
I want to know when my local Rita's is making lemon, because if
Mm.
I
Mhm.
know when lemon is being made, I'm going to go, right? There are other personalized offers that I wrote down in my notebook, like several personalized offers that,
Mhm.
immediately popped into my brain when that subject was going on stage, that we could do all these amazing things. And you have to think about, again, who is the audience and how are we going to drive the message to them and what's going to get them to come in? Again, is it in push notification? Is it an SMS? Is it an email? Is it something on social? Is it on the back end of social through engagement? So there's so many different ways that we can do that, but I
Mhm.
think it's cool. I think that is the way to go, especially with the amount of customers that we currently have that are true fans of Rita's.
Mm. Mm. When the one of the groups got up and spoke, and they started with the meme, right? That what my mom thinks I do, what the world thinks I do, what my friends think I do, and what I really do. If you were to put yourself in that meme, what is the thing that you think your mom thinks you do, or a family member thinks you do?
Oh gosh, what does my mom think I
Yeah.
do? My mom thinks that if this was the White House, she probably would think that I am the ruler of all things around the
Okay.
center of my universe because I'm constantly doing that, whether it be work life, personal life.
Yeah.
I'm constantly running the ship. And I'm honored that she thinks of me that way because I got it from her. So you know what better way to show that I got it?
Love it. Shout out to mom on that one. Chad?
That's right.
One last one for
So,
rapid fire round. Here we
all
go.
right, last one
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
last one.
Make it good.
Um, your franchise partner. So it seems like you guys embody so much good stuff. You can't just work with anybody. So I'm curious what your vetting
Ooh.
process is on a new franchisee.
Ooh, on a new franchisee. So, we have a sales team that they go through first. So, they do their traditional application. They do, the interviews. They look at financial qualifications, and then depending on how far in the process they go, then they would go to a meet the team day with the executive team, and that meet the team day can be virtual or in person. And then once we go through that meet the team day, then we go to signing. But the important thing about our brand, which I think in most franchises would probably agree with this as well, like this is an owner operator. This isn't a buy yourself a job, or it isn't a hobby. This is work. Any
Yeah.
business is work. Like you've got to invest time, energy, resources, work the
Passion.
shop. Yeah, know what happens. Listen to your customers, listen to your team, scoop some ice, make some ice, understand some of the challenges that the team goes through. Because, that's important. It's important to the brand, it's important to your team.
Yeah.
We have specific requirements. Our product is made fresh daily. So, we want to make sure that the true efficacy of the product is actually what it is. It shouldn't be different from New Jersey to Philly to Denver to California to
Consistency.
Florida. It's got to be consistent. And, we have our proprietary flavors, we have our proprietary way to make all of our product, and that's important. So, that vetting process to make sure that there are no surprises. This is the true way of running this business, and just like any other franchise has their playbook, so do we.
Mm.
And we have expectations. Obviously, there are things that we're like, okay, we can work with you on that, but there are definitely non-negotiables in any business. And, I've worked for a few franchises in my life, and
Yeah.
it's the same.
Do they have to be an
Mhm.
operator? That's in some cases they that is a requirement that you've had to been a successful
No,
operator.
No, but we do require them to come to training. So it must be a manager and a franchise owner. We do require them to come through that training so that
Yep.
they at least understand all the nuts and bolts. They don't have to run the store themselves, but I always recommend that they do. They
Yeah.
get their feet wet, they walk through what their team members are doing. They're the ones that are going to be the coaches for their team members or their treat team members in the stores.
One more
Yeah.
quick one.
Go ahead, Chad.
My local store in Walpole, Massachusetts. What do I say at the counter? What do I ask to make them go?
Give me
Huh?
free stuff. I know Carmela.
No. Make them wonder. How do you know that? Like, you're on the inside. What's going on? What do I say?
Gosh, I don't know if we have anything that secret that I could give to you, Chad.
A high
If I
sign?
let all the secrets out of the bag, like, mm, yeah, I might not be here tomorrow, and I want to keep my job.
We might have to do that offline to get the down low on
Okay.
that one, I think. Yeah.
Stop recording.
All right. The secret. All right. Well, let's go into the lightning round, so to speak. These are meant to be fun, Carmela. If anything's like you get stuck on, just say pass. But these are just something intended to pull a little light and levity out and let people know who you are. So are you ready?
Sure.
All right. Here we go. So first job ever, and we're actually good at it.
McDonald's. I was a biscuit maker, 5 a.m. I was the queen at that.
Fantastic. All right. Italian ice or custard, and don't hedge.
Both.
Okay. I
It's
guess
a gelati.
a gelati. There you go. Okay. You said it before, but I want to make sure I got it right. What's your go-to Rita's order, and has it changed since you joined? I know that you said lemon. Is that your go-to, and has that been the same since you started?
It's been the same since I started. Lemon is my go-to, but it should be a gelati, a lemon gelati.
And that's custard and lemon.
Correct.
Creamy. Yeah, sorry, I'm feeling this. I need to go over by Costco where my Rita says. All right. If Rita's had a secret menu, or maybe there is, what should be on it? 80 flavors. This is like the Smithsonian. You guys roll out flavors on display when you see fit because you can't have them all out at one time. But yeah,
what should be on it? I mean, this is going to be a kind of a corny answer, but something that you haven't had before, that we haven't launched, could be coming up on a secret menu near you.
Okay. What's one flavor you think should exist but doesn't?
Ooh, that's hard with the 80 plus flavors.
Spumoni? Marinara? I don't know.
That's weird. That's weird, Michael.
I'm a weird guy.
I don't know. I'll pass on that one.
Okay. If you had to run a Rita's location for a day, what job are you secretly excited to do? I feel like you want a scoop.
Ice maker for sure.
Ice maker. Okay. And what's a small weird detail about the customer experience that you just obsess over?
The app. Because it's too easy.
Yeah.
Too easy to get a free treat on the app.
So download the app now if you're listening.
Absolutely.
All right.
That's a hot tip.
And last question, what's one thing you're irrationally picky about?
Organization. There's a systematic flow to the way things should happen, even in shops. Like you go here, then you go here, then you go here, then you go here. When it's chaos, it's chaos.
And now I hear your mom saying, I told you, she's the queen.
Yep.
That's awesome. And so we have this event coming up next week. Is this all sold out at this point? Nobody can participate. Come on in.
Yeah, we are 100% sold out, but we are still taking donations that gives back to an amazing cause. Remember, it's supporting the Eagles Autism Foundation. You can go to www.ritasgolf.com, and on there you can select the donation page and make a donation.
www.ritasgolf.com, right?
That's it.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Carmela, for joining us today. thank you for what your team at Rita's does for the community. And I'm about to thank you because I'm definitely going to go get a tasty treat sometime in the next 24 hours from a Rita's, and I'll give you a report from there. I'll send you a little video from the spot.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah. And so now with all your travels coming up, when's the next time we might run into you? What shows are you going to be at? Or are there franchise shows coming up? What's your next big event that's not,
Yeah,
you
there's
know?
a couple are coming up. I'm going to be going to something in September, October for sure. I'm going to be on a panel down there. And then we might have a couple of stops with some innovation shows in San Diego in August.
Nice, nice. Is
Yeah,
September's like, what's that, QSR Evolution then?
I
When's
think
what?
that is Evolution in September. So yep, I'll be on a panel
All
there.
right. Well, we'll definitely see you there. I love it. I love it.
Amazing.
So, and for everybody listening on, if you don't know what Rita's is, it's probably in your backyard. If not, then you want to get a franchise opportunity going. It sounds like they have lots of opportunities to open up a new location of something that you can make people feel really good about and make some money on. So this is absolutely fantastic. Today, we've been joined by Carmela with Rita's Italian Ice. Thank you so much for Carmela for being who you are and joining our show today. And to everybody out there, thing we always close with if you watched before, which is random acts of kindness, which Carmela and Rita's exhibit very well. Random acts of kindness, sprinkle that stuff everywhere. You never know whose day you're going to make better, just like Carmela made our day better by spending some time with us. So this is Chad and Beck signing off here from the ChatGTM podcast with Carmela from Rita's. We'll see you guys on the next one. Have a blessed day.
Thanks, everyone. Have a nice day.